Side of the VIX, we were inside of a full retracement long from lows. And we had squeezed after a trend break right into a full 50% retracement short from highs. And this was going into last week, Wednesday. And I want to show you how similar last week's price action is to this week's price action. So remember, Tuesday morning, we started squeezing out of our lows. And by the way, this was also a 50% retracement short, right? That had not completed its target. But we started squeezing away from our traditional long setups, and these traditional longs defended and then ran to their targets. And then we broke extension long levels as we went into our Wednesday afternoon. And this is what changed the trend here. And then we created this run in with our daily short setup. So as the VIX was making a long from lows here coming out of 10 o'clock on Thursday morning, the ES was actually running up into a short from highs and was a little bit sloppy inside of that resistance level. And of course, we didn't get shaken out by that from the perspective of understanding where we were in time and price. The VIX was defending its pullbacks, and it is the leading indicator. And look at where it led us into this massive sell-off going into our Thursday and then Friday timeframes, and then our gap down, and we had our profit targets that were hit. And on Monday morning, this takes us to where we came into our morning at the beginning of this week, and we had hit our target, and we had blown through a profit target. So there was a possibility that there was an extension short down here, but then it broke, and that's what confirmed our counter trend long from lows on Monday morning. And they almost perfectly traded in correlation with our profit targets, and then we're squeezing into this counter trend rally again. And then what happened to the VIX? It came all the way halfway back long from lows, and the ES came all the way halfway back short from highs. And that was Monday afternoon. But we had to confirm our trend change in the form of an extension failing. And this is what the extension looked like as we were going into our Monday afternoon. The extension traded, it defended, and then we completed it. And as we were coming out of our daily doldrums yesterday, we sold off from that profit target. And then, because we completed that target, the same anchor to new high extension long level was our new bullish setup. And it bounced overnight. But in the afternoon yesterday, the VIX confirmed a trend change. The VIX confirmed a trend change. Now look what happened to the ES. Even though the ES hadn't broken its extension long level, the ES defended its short and then bounced off of its target here this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then what happened? We ran right up into our resistance level. Another second full 50% retracement short from highs to lows, which defended. So the VIX traded its long from lows, and the ES traded its 50% short from highs. So my question is this, is what happens next? What happens next? This is like coming out of the 10 o'clock time frame on Thursday. What was the 10 o'clock time frame on Thursday? It was that very first measured move long after the trend break on the VIX. Same setup that we just had at 10 o'clock this morning, this week, Wednesday. And if the VIX continues to defend its long from lows and the ES defends its short from highs, what's the new downside target? 64.70, 625. And so that's what we're making the case here that we're in as we're going into the rest of this trend. We've confirmed that turn on the VIX and the ES. But it's not just the VIX and the ES. It's also the leading indicators. So you'll notice here that DXY has broken out of it. This stream continues at emoneyaddict.com. The link is in the description. Join me there for tools and resources for learning measured move trading. I wrote the book on the measured move. Check out the hundreds of others that have learned trading plan development, pattern recognition, money management, and trading discipline with me to become the best, most confident trader that you can be.